Boys, Lerone Murphy did it. I was telling you guys all week that Aaron Pico is from PFL. These dudes from other organizations are not facing the level of competition that's in the UFC. It's just evident. The last three signees, Patricio Pitbull, Patchy Mix, and Aaron Pico, have all been a disappointment. Patricio Pitbull did win his most recent fight, but his first fight wasn't as bad as the Aaron Pico performance or the Patchy Mix performance. Patchy Mix had the worst performance of the bunch, but still, all right? I think that Dana White is doing the big IQ play and signing these dudes to show everybody that they don't have the level of competition that we have over here in the UFC, which is honestly high IQ coming from Dana. But Lerone Murphy took a fight on short notice that was supposed to be Movsar Lopez, okay? Movsar was supposed to be the number one contender in the featherweight division to fight Volkanovski, all right? He pulls out with this fight against Aaron Pico. Well, first of all, this fight with Aaron Pico was supposed to happen like 2 months ago, and they rescheduled it to 3/19. Movsar actually pulls out instead of rescheduling again, and Lerone Murphy, who is also undefeated, ranked number 6, coming off of a fight against Josh Emmett, which I picked him to lose, which, you know, all right. He did piece up Josh Emmett. It was a methodical decision, and Lerone Murphy came in, and I told you guys all week, hey, Aaron Pico might have some great wrestling. He has some great hands. He has some great highlight reels, right? But he has been knocked out before, and the level of competition that he is facing, again, is not the same that they're facing in the UFC. This fight started out crazy. I'm going to be honest with you. Aaron Pico was piecing Lerone Murphy up. It was getting a little spooky in there. Aaron Pico's boxing was crisp. He was hitting him with some nasty body shots and engaging in the clinch. I was like, ooh, maybe Aaron Pico really might show some levels against Lerone Murphy here. But Lerone Murphy, I saw a tweet, and it said, this was Lerone Murphy's Leon Edwards head kick knockout moment, where now everybody's going to be rooting for Lerone Murphy against Volkanovski. And now I can see that, because that spinning elbow knockout was absolutely vicious. And to refresh your guys' memory, it was back-to-back. Carlos Prates just knocked out Geoff Neal with a spinning elbow. And then right after that, we get Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. Lerone is getting a little bit pieced up. Aaron Pico did outstrike Lerone Murphy. If you look at the stats, Aaron Pico hit him 13 times. Lerone Murphy hit him 8 times. Okay? Lerone Murphy threw 16 total strikes. Aaron Pico threw 30. All right? This was looking like it was going to be an absolute barn burner, but Lerone Murphy set up perfectly, waited for Aaron Pico to cross the little void he did, and he just spun and smacked him with an elbow and put him down hard. He was clinching on his mouthpiece. It was a little bit rough watch, but I was in the movie theater celebrating. So is everybody else. Everybody was like, whoa! The whole movie theater erupted when we saw Aaron Pico hit the ground. All right? Now, Gene Silva versus Diego Lopes is about 2 weeks away. They were supposed to be fighting for number one contender. They were trying to hand Gene Silva a free title shot against Volkanovski, okay? Diego Lopes famously doesn't do well against pressure. Rewatch the Volk fight. Volk completely dismantled him just by walking forward. Now, Gene Silva hits harder than Volkanovski, and in my opinion, he's a little bit more dangerous than him on the ground, right? Gene Silva has more finishes than Volkanovski, so that's a pretty easy assumption to make right there. I think that Gene Silva just absolutely got robbed, and so did Movsar. So now the best fight to make after UFC Noche, because honestly, you don't even need to watch it. It's going to be Gene Silva via whatever he wants, round 1, okay? Make Movsar versus Gene Silva, and we get to see Lerone Murphy versus Volkanovski. Volkanovski was so excited to see Aaron Pico in the UFC, and just like that, he's out of number one contendership. Lerone was just ranked 6th, all right? I know Movsar is sitting at home absolutely devastated, because even if Movsar took this fight, if he never pulled out, there was no way in hell he was finishing Aaron Pico in that spectacular fashion that Lerone just did, all right? Lerone's stock just skyrocketed to the moon. Now, do I take him to be Volkanovski? No. The only person in the featherweight division, honestly, that I see beating Volkanovski, and I hate to say it, is Gene Silva. And that's why the UFC is trying to propel him to the front. And I understand that. But Lerone Murphy, you did an absolutely fantastic fantastic job last night. I was trying to tell you guys, don't disrespect Lerone Murphy. I understand he's a decision merchant, and you guys are being fed misinformation about Aaron Pico, about how great he is, you know what I mean? But never pick against a UFC fighter who is going against somebody who is making their debut in the UFC, coming from another organization. You could have knew that this was going to happen from the press conference. Aaron Pico's face in the press conference when he heard everybody booing him, he was like bewildered. All right, you need to take these things into account, boys. Lerone Murphy is up next. It's looking like it's going to be Volkanovski versus Lerone Murphy in December. As soon as Lerone Murphy dropped Aaron Pico, Volkanovski tweeted at him on Twitter saying, "I'll see you in December." So I'm excited to see that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm ready, boys. And I hope Volkanovski wins. You know, I don't think I can handle seeing Volkanovski lose again in the vicious way that Topuria and Islam did him the second time. We all know the first fight against Volkanovski was a W for Volkanovski against Islam, but we're not even going to get to that. Lerone Murphy, absolute fantastic job last night for UFC 319. I cannot wait to see how you make your way to a decision against Volkanovski. He is not doing that against Volkanovski. You are literally out of your mind, okay, boys? I'll see you guys later. UFC 319 was a banger. I'm going to make another video talking about MVP versus Jared Cannonier soon, and we're going to move on to UFC China, boys. UFC China starts at like 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Saturday morning, all right? I'm hyped. That means I get my Saturday night. I can go do whatever I want Saturday night. I'm hyped, all right, boys? I'll catch you guys in a little bit. I hope you guys have a good one. If you made it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. It honestly goes a long way. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.